morning, everybody. It's Lynn, the Leather Bag Lady. How are you all this morning? It is 9:30 on Monday morning, coming to you bright and early. I woke up at 4:30 this morning and couldn't get back to sleep. My little brain was just going tick, 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 which always freaks the shit out of pies. Because God knows what I come up with. But anyway, let's get to today's bag first and we'll chit chat after. So, Roots, what can I say? If you follow me regularly, you know the love affair I have with Roots Canada. If you're new to my channel, Roots Canada is a brand that has been around in Canada since 1973. It was established by two American gentlemen, Budman and Green, I think is their names. Budman for sure. I'm not sure about the second gentleman. And these were boys that used to come to Canada to camp. They would be up in the Muskokas and just fell in love with Canada and the beauty that our northern Canadian areas offer. And from that birthed this company. And their first item was these god awful shoes. They're like negative something shoes. They got big wedgy heels on them. They're horrible. But from that, they expanded to clothing, and my passion is their leather bags. And their vintage leather bags are thebomb.com. They are no longer majority stakeholders in the company. None of their kids wanted to carry it on. And now they are minority shareholders. And the quality from my customers' feedback, not my own personal experience, is that it is not quite where it used to be. So I have gained over the years a couple of really great customers who love Roots, but have had to take bags back a couple of times in one instance because of poor craftsmanship. So me in particular, absolutely hunt high and low for vintage Roots. Very hard to find at a price point where I can, keep my prices as low as possible. My price includes shipping, but I say this all the time, there is no such thing as free shipping. It is built into the price. So again, finding that vintage piece that allows me to, pay my Etsy fees and cover shipping, it's getting harder and harder. But these classic Roots bucket bags are just phenomenal. So I've labeled this as a 90s bag just because this label is not the kind of quintessential 80s black and white fabric label that I am used to. It is a leather interior as well, or like a leather coated canvas interior, which is in excellent, excellent condition. Sometimes this is prone to not peeling, but it gets all little bits all over the place. But this is perfect. You've got a slip pocket, and there is lots of holes to make it shorter. Not much room to make it any longer. I'm gonna leave that alone because this brass strap guard is not movable at all, so I don't want to make it too short and then it just looks dumb. 25-inch strap drop though, so you really shouldn't need much more than that. The edging is in great condition. Sometimes this can be damaged, but it's not. It's just great. I love the two-tone, the mahogany brown and the black leather. The base has a couple of issues, just scuffing and a little kind of light spot there. I have conditioned the bag. I clean and condition all my bags for you inside and out. But to me, this is just patina from a bag that is approaching, 40 years old, maybe 30, it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bag. Very, very kind of a very statement piece for Roots. And I do really enjoy the two-tone as well. So that is today's bag. So since I saw you last, I didn't spend a minute or two with you on Friday because it was art crawl. And it was a little bit of a different art crawl this year because for the months of June, July, and August, the city of Hamilton has decided to actually close the street down. So James Street North, the second Friday of every month, have an art crawl. And it is, I think it runs all year, but the warmer months, street vendors bring a table and all their wares and they set up in the street. Musicians, restaurants, it is really quite a great evening. And with the road being closed, it was my first experience with the road being closed. Last month, it threatened rain and I didn't go. This month it threatened rain, but I thought, screw it, I'm going anyway. We got a few sprinkles once, but those clouds were threatening us for quite a few hours. But I got there at 9:30 in the morning and didn't leave till 10 o'clock at night. It was a very long day. My ankle, I have arthritis in one of my ankles because I'm getting old. And it was screaming at me for a couple of days after. But I had a great day. The last one I did was in May and I sold mostly belts, very few bags. And this one I sold bags, very few belts. So you just never know. I sold quite a few bags. I'm selling the bags that are bulkier to ship. And that way it's just helping me out a little bit, kind of reducing some of that stock. I'm kind of careful what I pick up now because the shipping is getting to be a little nuts. And, anything that has like a solid base, like for example, like this will fold and it actually, you can see, a little bit of a stress point where that's probably how it's been stored. But if this was solid, it would be, it would be very expensive to ship. So I do have a number of those bags in my collection. And rather than put them on Etsy and pay a ton for shipping, I am just going to take them to Art Crawl with me. And I did take a few bags that I thrifted on my way to Nova Scotia, and they went like that. I have kind of honed my craft to the point where I can pretty well pick up a bag and know that it will sell, just because I have gotten so good at knowing my customer and the quality and the brands. So the vintage bags are difficult because not all of them are branded. So, and some of them are just, made in Canada, a brand that you would never probably know or see anymore. So it's more about the kind of vintage label and just, the quality of the bag. So I sold some really, really cute little bags on Friday. Pies came and joined me, but not till much later in the evening. So I really missed him. I was kind of bored all day. And I'd be like, I messaged him a tons of times. When are you getting here? When are you getting here? So I had great neighbors again. Ryan, a young man who is an artist. And I actually bought one of his pieces. Hang on, where is it? Let me show it to you. Oh, is it here? No, I don't know if it's here. I'll find it for you and show you next time. But it was a good day. We Saturday we spent the day with Karen and Blair, our friends from New Waterford, Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia. We hung out with them. It was a horrible day. The rain was terrible. We had somebody who was supposed to come and see the van and of course didn't show up. Oh, it drives me nuts. So we were a little delayed in getting to St. Catharines to visit with my mom and dad. So Harry was there. It was great. I really appreciated Harry being there. Sarah wasn't able to make it, but it was a bit last minute, so it was not a big deal. So we had a great day. We spent the first night at our trailer. Now, I don't think I've mentioned to you that we bought a trailer the weekend that we went camping, July long weekend. It was an experience, but it wasn't an experience that we want to repeat. So we actually left the campground early because it was raining and we purchased a trailer. And I am in heaven because, If you follow me and you've been following me for a long time, you will know that I had a previous relationship with a gentleman who had a trailer, and I absolutely fell in love with the trailer thing. More so because of the social aspect of it back then, because it was a completely different relationship. It was more of a companion social thing, whereas with Pius, we have just gotten married and we are honeymooners and we just want to be on our own with each other. So Saturday night we went to the trailer unexpectedly. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to get there. We just picked up the keys Saturday morning, and we went Saturday night. It poured rain, but we didn't care. I put my speaker on. We had a few drinks. We just sat around and kind of wowed in the fact that we are now trailer owners, and we cannot wait till this weekend until we can go back. This coming weekend was actually a weekend I had planned and booked with the van. So we don't have any plans this weekend except for one thing we have to do on Sunday, but not till later in the day. And I know Pius can't wait. He is in so much pain. I am just, my heart goes out to him. He's going to work every day in a job where he actually has to lift and pull and push and all the rest of it with what we are pretty certain is a torn rotator cuff. Doctor's been on holiday for 2 weeks, so of course nobody's gotten back to him to read the ultrasound that he had a couple of weeks ago. So he's not in top form at the moment, but we're just going to have to wait that one out. Something else I wanted to talk to you about, and I don't know if you want to comment on it or not. I recently, and I did mention it, I think, in a previous video, I recently had a customer reach out to me who was unhappy with the bag that she received because it did have some marks on it, and she wanted a refund for the bag and shipping and everything. It wasn't an expensive bag. I think it was like $45 or $50. And I offered her the refund. I do have a 20% restock fee, and she wanted shipping. I do not refund shipping. But everything that the bag had was in the listing. There was photographs. It was in the listing details, description that there were marks on the bag. And I asked her, did you read the listing? Because it says right there, the pictures are right there. And I never heard back from her. And then I got a message yesterday or Saturday from Etsy to say that they had refunded her. So one, Etsy has a policy that if the seller's item meets certain criteria and the customer is not happy, if it's under $250, they will potentially refund the customer and you get to keep your money. So my bag absolutely met the criteria. The description was accurate. The pictures were accurate, but this customer obviously was, a squeaky wheel enough that Etsy just paid her out. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, because to me, it's almost I feel like it's an admittance that I sold a substandard item. Yeah, I'm not sure that sits well with me. I mean, I do appreciate that Etsy has a guarantee like that, which will give customers confidence to buy, because I'm sure there's shysters out there who don't, oh my goodness, I don't know what that noise was. I don't know if you heard that. The van's in the driveway, so I can't see down the driveway anymore to see what that would have been. But anyway, like I said, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, I appreciate that Etsy offers customers such a great amount of support that they could potentially make a purchase, and if it was bogus or not as advertised, they can get their money back. But I don't know. I just, and she was a little rude in her, how can you sell customers items like this? I'm like, it was right there. If if you wanted it, you bought it. If you didn't, you don't. I don't normally sell things that have damage to that extent, but I thought, you know what, the price was, it was it wasn't an expensive bag. And it was just on the sides. So from the front, it looked fine. From the back, it looked fine. The interior was perfect. It was just the edges of the compartments on the sides had some color loss. And I don't know. I appreciate it, but I don't like it at the same time. Anyway, that was just something that I experienced over the weekend. And oh God, I need a haircut so badly, and need to put a color in my hair so badly too. I mean, I am so gray that when you look at that, you would think that I have my hair color from when I was a kid, which is really dark brown. But I'm really very gray. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I hope you all had a great weekend. We went to Blue Jays game yesterday with Blair and Karen and their family. Blair's daughter, Casey, and her husband, and 3 kids. The kids, so the oldest, I think, was 6, I'm going to say, right down to 10 months old. And these 4 children were amazing. You barely heard a peep out of them. And 2 of them had the best nap of their lives while we were watching the game. It was a great game. The Jays won. The heat, we were underneath an overhang, thank goodness, because as we were leaving the Rogers Center, their backs, their back of their shorts, their pants, their jeans were just soaked from the heat. The sun was out the whole game pretty well, and we were so grateful. Casey did an amazing job of picking seats. And Pius said to me, because he didn't bring a hat, so every time we go to the Jays game, he pretty well has to buy a hat. And I don't know, I don't like him in baseball hats. It doesn't suit him. So he looks cute as a button in the bucket hat. So I said to him, from now on, when we go thrifting, we are looking for a Jays bucket hat for you. So, I always love it when I've got something to look for at the thrift store. But yeah, it was a great game. It was Kids Day, so we actually waited afterwards and went down onto the field to watch the 3, because the baby, obviously 10 months, is not running the bases. But the other 3 ran the bases, and they were so excited. But the lineup, Casey again got them on the field right away. And we were home by about 8 o'clock, I think. We couldn't find any parking at the Go Station parking lot. We ended up having to park on the grass, and we were wondering if our truck would even be there, or if we'd have a ticket or whatever, because the Honda Indy, the Toronto FC, and the Blue Jays were all playing at the same time, and the train was insane. But it was a great day. We had a great weekend, but boy, are we looking forward to our trailer relax next weekend. But anyway, I'll leave you with that, where our videos seem to be very lengthy these days. So if you hang in with me till the end, I really do appreciate it. But if not, I get that too. Life is busy. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.